G'day guys, and welcome to another YouTube lesson. Today we're going to take a look at types of businesses as the subtopic. Again, that falls under the nature of business. And I know I keep banging on about how important it is to know your syllabus, blah, blah, blah. But it really is vital. If you give an answer that's not from the syllabus, you're going to find it difficult to get 3 out of 3 for questions or even decent marks at all. So please make sure you're studying that. We're going to be looking at the syllabus dot point, factors influencing choice of legal structure. We've looked at that a little bit, but there's three major things from the syllabus that you need to talk about when you're answering this question. Probably a sort of short answer question, but if you talk about other things, you're going to get 0 or very close to it. We look for size, ownership, finance. We're looking for this when we're marking your essays and your short answer questions. All right, so there are many things or factors that will influence what type of legal structure a business will choose to adopt. And when we're talking about a legal structure, we're talking about whether it's a sole trading business, whether it's going to be a partnership, a private company, a public company, or a GBE, a government enterprise or government business enterprise. You don't necessarily get to choose that so much. So it's the first 4 mainly, and there's things that will steer you in the direction. Why would you want to have a public company? What benefits are there? What's the downsides? Why would I have a sole trading business? Why would I choose that the legal structure as opposed to a private company and so on? And size, ownership and finance are the 3 things that help you decide which thing you should choose, which legal structure you should adopt. Now, size, a major factor influencing a business or company's choice of legal structure is the present size of the business. Just another thing in terms of the difference between a business and a company. A business is unincorporated. It means that the owner of the business and the actual business itself, they're one and the same. They're not separate legal entities. They're not corporations or companies. They're unincorporated. So if I get sued and I'm a sole trader or a partnership, then I'm unincorporated, okay, and we're one and the same. So I can lose my own personal assets. A company, it's also a business, but it's a special type of business. It's what we call incorporated. Okay, it means that the owners, generally the owners of private and public companies, which are businesses as well, they are separate from the company. All right, they're separate legal entities, and if they fold or go under, then you can't, if you're owed money, take it from the owner's personal assets. So the size of the business, we'll get back to the point at hand, the size of the business is a major factor influencing a business or company's choice of legal structure. Remember earlier in previous YouTube lessons and lessons in class, we talked about that a business with 19 or fewer workers are called small businesses. So 1 to 19 workers are small business. So by the very definition, a small business, because it has few workers, is likely to be a sole trader or partnership. Okay, whereas large businesses that have over 200 or more employees, workers, they're likely to be public companies. All right, because if you have heaps of employees, like 1,000 plus, hundreds of thousands, then you're likely to have a huge amount of owners, and you're likely to be large in size. And the best way that works is with public companies, maybe private companies or GBEs. Okay, if you've only got a few workers, 3 or 4, then you've probably only got one owner, and you can see this correlation. Small size, we're probably going to have sole trader at a stretch partnership. Okay, huge size, and size is about employees, large amount of workers, like 10,000, you're probably going to find almost all those businesses are companies, and they're probably going to be mostly public companies. All right. The second factor that determines your type of business you have is ownership, or the type of legal structure is the ownership. Another thing for ownership is control. If you are the only owner, one owner, obviously what type of legal structure would that be? Sole trader, correct? Okay, then you have 100% ownership and 100% control. If you want to have a huge amount of control, of course you're like a crazy person possessed and it's all about you and you have to have 100% control and ownership from the syllabus, then you would select to have a sole trading business. Okay, on the other hand, if you don't mind sharing this business with thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, then everyone's putting in money, capital, to be able to invest in the business. You can use that money to be able to grow the size of the company. And so in the end, you can probably end up doing better off. But you are going to relinquish, to lose a great deal of the control, or in the syllabus, the ownership of the business. So you've got to weigh this up. It's another factor, another thing that affects what type of legal structure you select for your business. Remember, the size does, and that level of ownership or control you want. Lots of control, like a crazy man, then you want to have sole trader. Very little control, you just want to be a silent partner. You maybe want to grow your business into a company quickly. Then you're pretty happy to have a public company and have little ownership or control. Right, the last one is finance. Now, finance, we're talking about the ability for a business to be able to source, get a loan, to get cashola coin finance. Now, if you have a think about it, it kind of makes sense. If you've got one owner or you've got 100,000 owners, which is more risky if you were going to lend money to them? Who would you lend money to? One owner or 100,000 owners? Think about who's more likely to repay that debt and who's riskier and less likely to repay that debt. If you said that sole traders have a high level of risk, you're 100% correct, because there's one dude, one chick, whatever. If they get sick, get hit by a bus, they're annoying, so a bunch of them, or somebody knocks them over, okay, then they're not going to be able to repay that loan. It's risky from a bank's perspective. If you've got 100,000 owners and more than that in a publicly listed company like Telstra, if I get ill, I'm one owner of Telstra at the moment. I don't know if I told you I paid off my house and travelling pretty well, got plenty of shares. If I fall ill, touch wood I do not, then there's still another 999,000 owners. One makes no difference. It's not a problem for the bank. It's far less risky. So back to choice of legal structure. How's this work? If you want to be able to grow your business quickly, to be able to easily obtain and get coin finance, then you would obviously choose a legal structure such as a public company or maybe a private company. If you really want more ownership and control, and you don't care about being able to gain access to finance very easily, then you're more likely to choose a sole trader or a partnership. Right, to just recap again, guys, in terms of the three options, we have the size, three factors determining which legal structure we choose: the size, the ownership or control, but ownership from the syllabus, okay, and also finance. If you want to grow your business quickly, then you want to have a publicly listed company or a company at least. If you want to be able to gain huge control, sole trader, maybe partnership, but you might not like the other 2 or 3 people. So again, you lose some control. And the last one, or the very first one we did, was size. There is this big correlation between small businesses and them having sole traders or partnerships. If they're large businesses with over 200 employees, they're generally publicly listed companies, maybe a private company. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.